Hey everyone, welcome to Fast Experience. So I'm just going to lightly recap on my previous video of the Autumn Copper FX that I had, and the reason I started this channel and the reason I named it the Fast Experience Cars was the reason of this FX, the F and the X. So I will just recap again on further what I said in the previous video. So make sure to check that video out first on my channel and then come back to this. So going to the FX, I believe this is my 9th or 10th, although I did have a second generation 09, but that was only one that I've had. Let's see, just trying to capture this video as quick as I can because I don't know if I should be parked here. So let's see on what I'm about to say. So this is definitely the FX45 and not the 35. This autumn color, I've had it, this is my 4th one, but the FX45 I've only had 2, so this is the 2nd one. And in the previous video I mentioned I'm always looking to buy one of these. So it took me 3 years, not that I wasn't looking, or I was looking, but it took me 3 years to find a FX to buy. Not only the autumn color was a great sort of an option that I was looking for, but it wasn't that. I was just looking for any FX to buy, and it took me 3 years to find this particular one. So that's how rare and hard to find these are. As mentioned in the previous video, this FX was way ahead of its times in terms of tech, design, and driving dynamics. All of those cars that we see today, the coupe-like SUVs, the Macan, the Cayenne Turbo GT, the Levante, Alfa Romeo, Stelvio, just to name a few, the BMW X6 and Mercedes GLE models, all of those coupe-like SUVs, I believe this was the first one. So they took, I don't know if they took the inspiration, but the market is moving towards an SUV. So the manufacturers, they have to provide a sporty SUV that can do the sport and the utility. So a person may not have to buy 2 different vehicles because cars are getting expensive nowadays. So as I was saying, when it comes to driving, any RPM, any speed, I don't need to downshift. I don't need to do anything. The way it picks up is truly stunning. The FX35 is great, but having a V8 is just a work of art. This color being offered, and it was offered in an 03, but it was a little lighter, but still the orange with the orange interior was offered in 03, and having such a bold design, having a stiff ride, and it was truly unique and something the Infiniti started it all. In some ways they took a chance because back in the days, 01, when we look at the 01, 02s, and 03 SUVs, they were all cushy, soft riding SUVs. Yes, X5 was a little dynamic when it comes to the RX and the MDX and all that, but still, they weren't coupe-like. This is the first SUV that was based on a car that drove like a G35 and a Z, but just in a more practical way, and because obviously it's an SUV. Are you guys ready to see the most beautiful interior? This, I can't really say which is my favorite. I'm not sure if I like the FX, the orange interior more, or the interior this car has. But this interior was specific to the FX45 only. I mean, just look at this 07 with 121,000 miles, and it's not in the best shape possible, but it's pretty close, especially on the interior. As you can see, the bolster is slightly worn on the driver's side, but there's no damage, especially to the dash, as it's a common problem on one of these. To have this interior, to have the DVD player also was an option on this. I believe the DVD was standard on the FX and optional on the FX35. I don't think I've seen an FX45 without it. Truly a stunning interior. One of the giveaways is that wood interior that the FX was specific to. The rest of the FX35s were all aluminum, and the Sport Pack had a different texture. But if it's this wood interior, it's a given that it is the FX45. One other thing that I would lightly touch on is that the FX45 was standard. The FX35 had the option of the Tech Pack. They all came with backup camera, but navigation, lane departure warning, and this button that you see right here is the adaptive cruise control. It's the early age of the adaptive cruise control. So it has 3 stages. So if I want 3 car lengths, 2 or 1, and it's so sensitive in such an early age that a 3 car lengths is maybe too much and people will start honking. So 1 car length is enough. Just put the cruise on and it will accelerate and decelerate on its own. This was introduced in 03 and it was a standard option on the FX45. In 03, we take it for granted of the adaptive cruise control and prevention that we have today, but having a keyless start, a backup camera, 20-inch wheels was truly ahead of its times. So this is the same exact spot that I filmed the previous FX that I've had exactly 3 years ago. Those 20-inch wheels that you see were specific to the FX45 starting from the 06. And some had the option on the FX35, but they had a different sort of a different design. Very hard to tell, but they were a little different than the standard 20-inch wheels that were on the FX35. Common problems to look for, not just mechanically, because every car is different and how it was maintained. Common visual and obvious questions are: any water on the headlights, does it get oxidation? Obviously bubble dashboard, and if the armrest closes because it's prone to break. Windows and sunroof, some cases they will stop working very easily. The fuel filler cap can be broken, so just be careful when opening and closing that. What else I'm just thinking about? Oh yeah, on the engine bay there is a the cover for the battery, and the cover for the I believe power steering fluid has a cover on, so those tend to get lost and broken. So just obvious things. It's just a hassle to to find in the parts store or eBay or stuff like that. I did have to find a few parts that I needed. Mainly, I had to look for a headlight. I had to find the dust cover for the engine that says V8, and then I had to find the cargo cover that is plastic that says Infiniti. Is pretty universal. All of those were black, regardless of what the interior is. The trunk was always black on the FX45, the first generation. Honestly, the design, it's so beautiful that it's just really hard to not admire. Obviously, it's an old car, people don't care, but oh my god, what a beautiful looking car. And that is not nearly, that is 2 decades old. Those tail lights, like, I can just look at them. That is, I believe, to me, for the money and all that, this is the most beautiful SUV that money can buy. And those tail lights are just a work of art. Like, wow. One thing that is a slight, there's a slight difference in the FX35 and the 45 is the upon starting, the growl of the 35 is a bit more like a Nissan Z and a G35 starting. On the 45, it doesn't have the same exhaust, it doesn't have the same motor, so it doesn't have that growl, but nonetheless it still sounds okay, but it doesn't sound that great at low RPM, whereas the 35 sounds a little bit more unique to the G35s and all that. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you would know the G35 and Zs and FX35 has the most beautiful stock exhaust ever made. Another common issue is this trim piece that is in gloss black tend to get faded. I tried fixing that. I fixed the pillars, the driver's side. I tried to fix those, but it's really hard to address that kind of a fading that has already damaged. Easy way to spot a 06 plus FX is as you can see on the top, it has the antenna or the navigation that was in the center, and it was body colored. On the 05 and below was to the side, and it was black. An easy way to spot from the front is this chrome bar that runs across from the 06 plus to the 05 and below didn't have that. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. I'm just gonna end it right there. Again, any questions you guys have, feel free to let me know in the comments, or find me on Instagram at Fast Experience Cars. Take care.